Hello and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Melissa and I do random readings like this, as well as talk about crystals and do all kinds of other stuff. So if you're into that, check out the channel and see if you want to subscribe. So what we're going to look at today is, so I guess today is Wednesday the 24th, I believe. Yes. Yesterday, I believe it was, Demi Lovato started releasing like a documentary, I believe called Dancing with the Devil. I could have the wording a little bit off on that. Um, and I was like, I haven't done like a kind of like a hot topic type reading in a while, so let's find something. And Demi Lovato like was in a recommended thing on like my computer homepage, so I went with that. I didn't see it yet, so for background, I don't like to know too much about what I'm reading for. So I haven't watched it. I do plan on watching it though. I'm not a huge fan. There are a couple of songs that I like, that I know are by her, but I couldn't tell you what they are. And my daughter, my child, was a fan when she was on the Disney Channel. So I know of her. I don't know a whole lot about her, other than my child watched her on Disney, and that I know I heard about an overdose. So, like this stuff that's kind of common knowledge I know about. I'm not super invested. That's what I like to do for these readings. Pick something that I really don't know a whole lot about, but enough to have context for the reading. So what we're going to look at is, what the documentary is really about. What are we going to see? What will we learn from the documentary about her, about what happened, whatever? What will we learn? How it'll help us, because I feel like when there's trauma in somebody's life and they go ahead and expose air their dirty laundry, um, I believe the intention is to help us in some way. So how will it help us? How it helps her? Is this part of her healing? Is it, like how this benefits her? And then I would like to wrap this up with a message for her should she happen to stumble across this video. So let's get started. Okay. Demi Lovato's documentary called Dancing with the Devil. We want to see what it's about. What are we going to learn? How it will help us. How it will help her. And a message for Demi Lovato. All right. All right. What it's really about. Ooh, yeah. All right, I'm getting 4 cards. Okay, definitely about overcoming some stuff. And honestly, I feel like it's going to show us how she created a new her, a better life. So the chariots are about moving forward. Kind of you get the like, and I don't like using this analogy, but this is how the symbolism works. But in today's climate, I would prefer not to do the black versus white in the back when in the western movies, like like in the, I don't know, 60s, whatever, whenever the westerns were popular. Yeah, that's how you could tell the bad guy from the good guy was, the bad guy wore a black hat and the good guy wore a white hat. And that's kind of what the symbolism represents, kind of like overcoming a battle over good versus evil. And I just don't like that comparison anymore, but that's how the symbolism is in the tarot. So yeah, but I feel like it's overcoming a heart, like the 8 of Pentacles is really putting in the work, and we have 2 8s here. The 8s are about manifestation to me. If you're new to my channel, I say this every time I get the 8 of Wands. It reminds me of the Abraham Hicks saying that she says a lot when she's channeling, well, Esther Hicks channels Abraham. She says, you're launching rockets of desire. And for me, the 8 of Wands always looks like those rockets of desire being launched. In this deck, they kind of spiral. So I kind of feel like it's really about overcoming like a hardship and, a little bit of a spiral. But really, I feel like with the Page of Pentacles next to it and like the hard work being put in to making something for herself is more about the how she overcame her whatever the traumatic events that took place. I don't feel like this is going to show us what led up to her addiction, or I mean maybe a little bit in this part, but I feel like the real, like what it's really about, the true intention behind it is the overcoming aspect, the putting in the work to move on and make a name for a better name for yourself. I feel like this is more after the overdose. Like I feel like what I'm how I'm seeing it is like there's like two parts of her life, which I know there are many more than that, but it's kind of like before the addiction or before the overdose specifically, and then after overdose. And I feel like this is focusing more on the recovery period after than it is on what led up to it. I think we can all kind of imagine what led up to it. Being a young person in Hollywood can't be very easy. So, I mean, I don't think it's really focusing on that first part of her life, that like that it's more of the turning point and how she's moving on and recovering from it and manifesting something better for herself. This is definitely like a walk that this one's walking away from the situation. It's what happens after is what I'm getting, for like what it's really about. So let's see what we might learn. What are we going to learn? 3 cards. Okay. Oh, yeah. Okay. It's like how she turned the ship around is kind of what I'm getting. The Two of Wands it's a wait. It's a watch and wait. It's not really taking action. But then we have the Seven of Wands over here, which is kind of more being defensive. But I feel like it's representing her taking a stand in her life, where she was like more of a bystander in her own life and was not creating. Those 8s up here creating, was not really creating, but not doing anything, but allowing life to create her instead of her creating her life. And I feel like this is about her taking a stand. So what I think we'll learn is kind of how she took a stand. Something about her taking a stand against something and turning things around. We're going to do 2 more. Okay. Possibly a male in her life. I don't feel like this is so. It's a knight, so more like a love interest, especially with it being cups. This deck, the Knight of Cups, is not like my favorite Knight of Cups, the sweep you off your feet knight in shining armor. He kind of has more of, if you look at his face, kind of has more of like a slick used car salesman vibes is kind of what I get here. But yeah, it's about her creating her piece, her own piece. Like I feel like the main thing that we're gonna learn is about her taking a stand, possibly against a male figure, or at least masculine energy in her life. And I kind of feel like with these two next to each other that he was kind of either taking control or taking advantage. Something along those lines. Yeah, like that what is that? I don't know. Like a smooth used cars salesman, like slimy vibes. But with her not being in control of her own life, kind of allowing somebody else to slip in there. But then how she turned it around. So I feel like this is more of us getting an inside glimpse of where she took a stand, um, and how she's finding peace. That's kind of what I'm getting. Um, there's a lot of work in there though. So yeah, very interesting. Very interesting. Let's see what else. Anything else that we will learn that I can see in there? Yeah, just kind of, I feel like how she takes a stand. It's that's just kind of like the main vibe that I'm getting is what we will learn. I feel like there's some other stuff that we might learn, but this is all we should know now. Um, yeah, so taking a stand against some masculine energy that was kind of offering something to her, but I get slimy, gross vibes from this dude. So I don't know about that. But I feel like there's like a connection that she had to overcome here that's involved. So some kind of connection that helps her find her peace. But in order to find her peace, she has to kind of stand up for herself against something. All right. So I've wrapped that up like 3 times now. How it's going to help us. I think it's going to help us in some way because I feel like that's the goal. So I'm going to get these cards back in here so I can start over with a fresh, complete deck for the next set of questions. And we're going to give it a good shuffle. So how it's going to help us, how it's going to help her, and a message for her as well. There are some birds in my backyard making lots of noise. I hope you can hear them because they sound nice. Nice little background tunes. All right. All right. How Demi Lovato's Dancing with the Devil documentary might help us. Okay. I feel like, okay, this is definitely learning. There is some learning. I'm going to leave it up there because we're going to pull more cards. There is some learning. We are going to like learn something. And I feel like it's how to, I mean, it kind of looks good, but what I'm getting, it doesn't necessarily seem like it fits the vibe. But what I'm getting is that we learn how to ask for help when we need to walk away from a situation. It's very basic, but the just like the feeling that I get from it is that, you know, sometimes we need to get help. This is about, you know, getting help, making a plan, and walking away here. We have another 8. Remember, we had 2 8s in the first set of questions. It's about, you know, for me, 8s are about creation, manifestation, and getting the energy that you put back into something. If you're not getting the energy that you're putting in, then you walk away. That's what this card is about. So I really feel like it helps us to understand. It gives us some knowledge, possibly resources. There's a message for us in there about how to you know, walk away from something that is not giving back what we put into it. If we're not getting a return on our investment, that's what I'm hearing is return on investment. Whatever we're investing into something, if we're not getting that back, then it's kind of helps us to understand that you can, maybe not necessarily how to, but that you can make a plan and you know, get help if necessary in order to leave something behind. But I feel like it's a very strong message. Not necessarily that it helps us by learning about her, but I feel like it's learning about ourselves and how we can, you know, overcome the way she did. Maybe not the way she did, but that there is healing in there for all of us. And that, you know, it's not a bad idea always to ask for help, but that you're able to ask for help in leaving something behind. So that it's okay to do that. So I feel like that's like the lesson in it for us. How it helps her. How is this documentary going to help Demi Lovato? 5 cards. Empress energy, yes. Giving, okay, yo, look at that. Would you fucking look at that? Okay, 5 cards. Jesus. Yeah, this is hard for her. I feel like this is really hard for her to come out there with. But there's 2 6s there. And then 2 3s really with the Empress and the, so yeah. This is helping her break some ties. Okay. Um, wow. These are some powerful cards. This is definitely a powerful lesson for her. Um, the Devil being about addiction, and the Six of Swords being about, moving away from something terrible, or improving on a situation, moving, possibly even moving literally from one place to another. But um, it's about her embodying that divine feminine, and speaking up for herself, giving back. Like, this is her energy, giving her energy um, to something better than what she was at, and about moving on from it. I feel like this helps her heal from her addiction and her traumas. That's what I'm feeling. Like, this side over here is about what she, like, has gone through. I feel like she's now here, and that this documentary kind of helps her. um it helps her by helping it helps her to help us. It's kind of what I'm hearing, something along those lines. um yeah, it's therapeutic for her to be vulnerable and open. um she's being very vulnerable with this, but it is going to help her to break free of the addiction, because this is breaking free of that addiction. So I mean, she, from what I understand, is clean. I would imagine that releasing a documentary, if you're not clean about an overdose, would be kind of counterintuitive. I feel like it's definitely a help for her to embody and embrace her inner power, and it's a way for her to give back to others who are suffering. So both of these cards are about moving on from something. So I feel like the lesson for her is very similar to the lesson for us, or what how it helps, is about moving away from a toxic situation into something better. And again, walking away here as well. Like, both of those cards are kind of in that same vein. Um, yeah, so it helps her move on from the addiction, from the heartache, from the trauma, and helps her heal from that by giving back to us, giving back to her fans, and being vulnerable with them. So yeah, all right, let's get a message for Demi Lovato. If she were to happen to watch this video, what would Spirit like her to know? All right. Spirit, what would you like Demi Lovato to know regarding her documentary? Just had one jump out onto the floor. Oh, would you look at that? The one that jumped out is the sun. Things are going to it's going to be okay. That's kind of the message. It's going to be okay. The sun's going to shine. You're blooming. All right. Yes. Yes. Okay. All right. So I'm going to speak directly to Demi Lovato. That was my knee cracking. Directly to Demi Lovato. If you should happen to see this message is for you. Spirit would like you to know that everything's going to be fine, that you're going to be okay. You are in control of your life now. Or, if there's a question, there is very much potential for you to take care of yourself. There is one person in each of these cards. The Nine of Pentacles, for me as a tarot reader, is kind of like the single ladies card, powerful, on your own, making your own money, doing your own thing, and being your own person. Six of Wands showing victory. The wreath here is the victory wreath. You get to parade through the town on your horse. I heard high horse, like you have a place on a high horse, I guess. That's what Spirit's kind of trying to say there. You have a position of victory here. Definitely overcoming, definitely being powerful in your own right. The Hermit is about knowing yourself inside and out, going deep, going within. And if and could be a symbol of taking time for yourself, which we know you did. You've been through rehab and have had to really dig deep and in order to gain that recovery. And I see you moving on with bright, shiny new opportunities into your future. So yeah, I feel like this documentary definitely helps you to see your own worth, and they kind of hope that you understand that everything will be okay no matter what setbacks you may have to go through. Turn inward as much as you need, but yeah, I feel like this is a very positive outcome for you. Going forward, I feel like this opens some opportunities, and definitely see some positive energy as an outcome here for you, Miss Demi Lovato. And congratulations on your recovery. So that's what we have for this reading. Thank you so much for watching. Something you're into, check out the channel. There's several different kinds of readings that I do, along with talking about crystals and witchy unboxing videos. So yeah, if you're interested in that, make sure you subscribe, head over to the channel and check out what else is around. I thank you again, and as always, have a blessed day.